I was born in a little city called Deptford in southern New Jersey. I had a mom, a dad, and 2 brothers. When I was barely 2 years old, I decided to climb up on the rocking chair backwards despite my mom telling me not to continuously, and I fell off and cut my eye open. I still have a nice sized scar from the stitches. Our family lived in a little house in the middle of the woods, so after school I would always go exploring, climbing trees, and just imagining. When I was about 5, our town got hit by a tornado, but my parents wouldn't let me look out the window when it hit. I'm pretty sure this is what spawned my later tornado obsession. In school, I never really had many friends. I never got honor roll in 2nd grade because even though I got great grades, the teacher would always give me a U for unsatisfactory social skills. It's probably because I'd always blurt things out in class. I just like to talk a lot. When I was in 3rd grade, after taking an IQ test, I was placed in the Learning Enrichment Acceleration Program where 2 periods out of the day I got to read extra books and do extra homework, and I really enjoyed it, and I'm really thankful for it because it nurtured my love for reading and for math. But somehow I always found a way to annoy the teachers. I really did talk too much. When I got to middle school, I was able to make friends with a couple people who all had the same courses as I did. We were also in the concert band together. I played clarinet. We each had rivalries with each other though to see who could get the highest grades. Damien always won, but he ended up being the valedictorian, so I guess that makes sense. My favorite part of the day was when I got to go home and play my Super Nintendo. The first game I ever played was Super Mario World. It still remains one of my favorites. I was never really interested in girls as a kid, so in 8th grade, my dad bribed me to go to the school dance, told me he'd buy me a GameCube. Joke's on him, I just stood next to the punch bowl the entire time. I'm really not that much of a dancer. At about this time, I entered the Boy Scouts. I was always picked on a lot, and I earned myself quite a few nicknames, but I would never let any of it get to me, so it really wasn't that bad. I really loved camping, and I learned a lot of survival skills, and I eventually reached the rank of Eagle Scout. When I was about 16, my parents got divorced, and I moved with my mom to a little farm town that had its own rodeo, called Cowtown. Switching schools was a little bit hard, and it took everyone about half a year to finally accept me. I performed in a play and a couple musicals though, and that made me a lot more friends. Strangely enough, it was about this time that I finally had a growth spurt. I'd always been short my entire life, but then randomly I decided to grow to be 6'4", and I would scare people away, and people would ask me, "How's the weather up there?" It's really not funny. I didn't really know what I wanted to do in college. Ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to make video game music, but I never had piano lessons, so that felt kind of impossible. I had loads of scholarships though, so in the end, after I graduated from my high school, I decided to go to Rowan University for mathematics. I'm just good at math. When I turned 18, I got my first girlfriend. We were full of inside jokes from Homestar Runner, and we always made each other laugh. After about a year or so, we broke up, and I got really sad. In order to stop thinking about her, I tried filling up my spare time with new hobbies. I taught myself guitar, and then I realized that my MacBook Pro had video editing software, so I started fooling around and filming video blogs on YouTube. My first videos were terrible, and I reviewed viral videos, and they were full of jump cuts, but eventually, I started watching better YouTubers, and I changed my style considerably. Some of the first YouTubers I became friends with were Morgan Page and Luke Cutforth. They're thebomb.com. I went to my first VidCon in summer 2011 for my birthday, and I got to meet so many people for the first time. That's when I fell in love with the city of Los Angeles. I really wanted to stay an extra night after VidCon though, so I got a room with a bunch of YouTubers I had never met. One of those filmed me for his crazy video project he planned on uploading in the next year called Past Bing Future Bing. We had a lot of weird conversations. While I was there, I met up with a girl who I had met through Daily Booth and who I totally had a crush on. We may have made out. Another VidCon after, I graduated from university with no clue what to do. I really didn't want to work at Pizza Butt all my life and live with my parents, so I decided to apply to grad school in England and I got accepted. Moving to England was one of the biggest changes that's ever happened in my life. One of my first days here, I would just wander around and enjoy new streets and parks and listen to all the sexy accents that filled the air. At this time, the only British YouTubers I knew were Luke, Bing, Ali, and Brett, but through them, now I have loads of friends in the UK, and I don't know what I would do without them. The British YouTube community really took me in as one of their own, and I'd like to consider myself part of that community, even though I'm totally super American. Now I have a really solid group of friends that I love going on adventures with, and I appreciate them all so very much. Sadly, after I graduate from my actuarial program at the end of this year, my visa will expire, so I'll have to leave and go back to America. I'm trying really hard to find a good job that will extend my visa so I can stay, hopefully dealing with online media and or math. My future excites me. I hope you've all enjoyed learning a little bit more about my life. I'd like to tag Morgan Page Loves and Matt Zach to draw their lives. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.